Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. The Saints had a very clear strategy coming into the 2023 draft, and obviously that was to address the defensive front after losing a bunch of guys in free agency: Marcus Davenport, David Onyemata, Shai Tuttle, Kentavious Street. The Saints definitely addressed those needs in the first and second round of the draft, 11 picks apart, with the first round pick, 29th pick in the draft. They selected Brian Bresee, defensive tackle, Clemson. That one caused a lot of controversy. A guy, that got injured in 2021, had all the potential in the world. Big, athletic, strong guy, can play inside, outside. After that, they picked Isaiah Foskey, an athletic defensive end. Maybe undersized for the Saints. Like, he's definitely not undersized, but he's about 265. One of the smallest defensive ends I can remember the Saints drafting in a long time. Usually we know we like the 270, 280 guys. So we got an athletic guy on the end. And then after that, round 3 with the 71st pick, we selected a running back, Kendre Miller out of TCU. Now, this one surprised me. Didn't think we were going to take a running back until maybe the 4th or the 5th round. We took one in the 3rd round. I'm not mad at it by any stretch of the imagination. I do feel like the Saints figured that the two needs on the team were defensive tackle and defensive end. So they went with two guys in the top 40 picks. Now, after that, they probably just went with the best player available on their board. And for me, that's exactly how I would have drafted. I don't know if I would have picked the same players or whatnot, but the first two picks, you definitely had to go defensive tackle, defensive end, or vice versa, just because, we needed to get younger there. We needed to get more athletic there. The guys we had there last year were not doing well, did not play well. Then we have some guys that basically played a backup role, thrusted into the starting role this year, plus a couple new additions like Kalen Saunders, Nathan Shepard. So we definitely had to get younger there, had to get more athletic there, and they definitely did. Now, the running back position, obviously the Alvin Kamara suspension, that's going to be looming throughout this offseason. Hopefully that gets taken care of right away, so we can see, what that suspension looks like. So that Kendre Miller pick is going to be looking really, really good if the NFL decides to be, assholes and suspend him 4, 5, 6 games. We're going to need a backup running back in there. Now, for the rest of the draft, we have, I think, 5 more picks. We have the round 4 pick, number 115, 2 5th-round picks, 146, 165, and then 2 7th-round picks, 227 and 257. That 257 is Mr. Irrelevant. I'm going to love that pick just because, hey, man, it's Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft. We'll see what the Saints decide to do with that pick. For needs, for me, for these last 5 picks, I do believe we need to draft a guard or a center, a guy that's versatile. But a center/guard type guy, I definitely think we need to get. Just because Andres Peat may be leaving next year. Also, Andres Peat probably going to get hurt at some point during the season. Let's just be honest. Man. He's probably going to get hurt at some point during the season. One of these linemen are going to get hurt at some point during the season. Yes, we have backups, but you just want to bring a guy in, to get on this roster. Like I said, I do think we need one more lineman for like a 9-man rotation. We have about 8 that's settled on the team right now. So I do think an offensive guard/center hybrid type guy would be nice for the Saints to bring in. And after that, man, it's whatever you want to do, in my opinion. You're going to have 4 more picks. Maybe you combine some of those picks to trade up to get a guy that you thought, had a 2nd or 3rd round grade that fell. That would be nice. Those 2 7ths or maybe those 2 5ths, you move up, and try to get a higher pick in the draft. Because quite honestly, I don't think we need 5 more picks in this draft. I'll be happy with 2 or 3 more picks. We really don't need 5, just because, like I said, the roster is so stacked. 7 or 8 guys or rookies are not making this team. We've been through this, man. This roster is already 45 deep of guys that are guaranteed to make this roster. So, drafting 8 or 9 rookies, I'm not going to say it wouldn't be smart, but I would just rather get guys that are going to make an impact. And the Saints are so good at undrafted free agency that we don't really need those 7th and 5th round picks, because we found guys in undrafted free agency throughout the Saints, history that are really good. Just last year, we got Rashid Shaheed out of undrafted free agency. He was our 2nd best rookie, or arguably our 2nd best rookie behind Chris Olave and Alontae Taylor. So we'll see what they do. I do think guard and tackle, just offensive line in general, is a position of need. I can see us going after a tight end as well, and I would like a receiver. Those would be the 3 picks I would make, in the draft with the last 5 picks. If they get those 3 positions, I think it's going to be a really, really good draft standpoint, at least from position-wise, by the Saints. You never know what these players are going to turn out to be, so you really can't grade these picks. It's all a guess. You can grade them, but it's all a guess. But position-wise, I thought we needed a defensive end, a defensive tackle, a running back, a guard, and a tight end in this draft. If we get those pieces, I think it's a good draft on a positional basis for the Saints, and there's no complaints. Now, what the players do, how the players develop, and things like that, that's going to be up in the air. I'll still give it a grade. I'll still give it. Matter of fact, I'll do the first three guys right now. Grades, in my opinion. I think the Brian Rasee pick, I'm going to give that one a B. I'm going to give that one a B. He was falling down people's draft boards. He's kind of a tweener. I think he can be a defensive tackle, but he's kind of a tweener, so no real position there. Isaiah Foskey, I'm going to give a B as well. A defensive end, athletic guy. I think he could have been a first round pick if his tape was just a little bit better, but all the athletic tools, a guy that's hungry, a guy that's gonna run and be really, really good. And then Kendre Miller, I'm gonna give a C+ too. Just because, not saying he's a bad player. I just didn't think we needed to running back in the third round. Thought we could have took one in the fourth round. We kind of took a run on running backs. I know a lot of people wanted Tyjae Spears, but I'm assuming the injury concerns at running back were too big for the Saints to take that risk, which I understand. I think he's had 2 ACL surgeries already, but the guy had a really, really good year. He's from Louisiana, from Ponchatoula, went to Tulane. It would have just been a nice story for the Saints to get him, but I understand why they didn't. So I guess I give him a B, and like a C+ for those 3 picks. So I think we're having a okay draft. Now, it's tough when you get, your first pick is only the 29th pick, but you backdoor with the 40 and 70 first pick. So you get 3 picks in the top 71. It's hard to really make noise with that 29th pick, but they've done a good job, in my opinion, of just getting guys that they need, getting positions of need. Like I said, you really can't judge these players right now. So I'll give the draft about a B- to a B right now. We can move up and get that to a B+, I think, by the end of the draft. Also, I won't be surprised if we double up at a position, like, maybe draft another defensive tackle, maybe draft another defensive end. There was a lot of edge rushers that were kind of closely ranked in this draft. There's a lot of guys that fell. I'm not sure why. Like the Northwestern guy, Eddie Tamiwa. He's a really, really athletic defensive tackle guy. He's been falling down the board. So maybe, hey, they feel like we had a second-round grade on this guy, third-round grade on this guy. He's still on the board in the 4th or the 5th round, and we're just going to take him right here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the Saints are going to do in these 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds. I think we're going to move up. It can't be an NFL draft without the Saints moving up. We did try to move up to the 23rd pick in the draft where the Vikings took Jordan Addison. Maybe we're looking for a receiver right there. So if we take a receiver in this 4th round, that wouldn't shock me as well. But I think the Saints are going to be aggressive in these last couple rounds, just because I think the roster is so stacked that we just need 2 or 3 more players that are probably going to make this roster and contribute to this roster in 2023, and we'll see what happens. Let me know what y'all think about the draft so far and what we're going to do at the end of this draft in the comments below. As always, this is the Boo Tragedies, and I'm out.